thank you all for being here. I'm excited to get your stories recorded. Tell me again your name, birth year, and where you were born.
Joanne Getz Oberlander. I was born August 29th, 1926, in Morton. Now it is North 3rd, but at that time it was Church Street.
Got it. And you were born at home?
At home, yeah.
Was that common practice?
Very, yeah.
Okay. Do you have brothers and sisters?
One sister.
Okay.
I had another one, but she only lived 3 days.
Did she? Okay. And is your sister in Morton as well? Does your sister live in Morton?
Oh, she was, but I mean, she died now about 3 years ago.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Les Freidinger. I was born October the 4th, 1930, at home here in Morton, on North Main Street here in Morton. And what else?
Where you were born at home? Do you have brothers and sisters as well? Did you have family?
Yeah, I was born at home, and I had 2 sisters. I was the oldest in the family. And my friend here announced in school about my baby sister. I didn't even know if it was a boy or girl yet, because I didn't realize my mother was pregnant.
You didn't know anything.
No. I woke up in the morning, this morning, March the 3rd, 1939, and there was a lady in the house. I didn't even know, but Dad had made arrangements for Martha Zare to come and babysit while he took my mother to the hospital. But a baby sister was born in the hospital. She was the only one born in the hospital, St. Francis Hospital. And what else?
That's a good start. We'll start there.
Okay.
My name's Bob Howder. I was born in Morton, in my home, 1930. And lived there for 9 years, and then we moved, but that was the place, and I was born right across from what is now and was then the Township Building, corner of Jefferson and I guess it was called Lincoln then, but now it has another name, but just a block from Interlocking.
My name's Tom Clark. I was born in La Crosse, Wisconsin in 1936 in a hospital. And I didn't come to Morton until 1970.
What brought you to Morton?
Well, I was recruited to the Foreman Medical School in Peoria, and Morton, they told me, was the best place in the area to live.
Mr. Howder, you said you left for a little bit. Why did you leave, and where did you go?
Well, I went away to college with Illinois State Normal because it changed its name now to ISU. But I went there, and then I went to the Servers for a few years and lived in Normal for a while, and then back to Morton because, as Tom was told, it was the best place to live in the area.
And where did you go in the service? What did you do in the service?
I trained in Camp Gordon, Georgia, and then spent a year and a half, a little more, in Japan. It was after the war, but the Korean War was still going on. So after a 15-day boat ride, I thought I was going to Korea, and at the last minute stayed in Japan.
Did any of the rest of you have any experience with the military or the war?
Yes, Bob and I are about a month apart in age, and I was drafted in September of 1951, and I went to Camp Chaffee, Arkansas for basic training and cook school. And when I got out of cook school, my orders came through to go to Germany, in Army of Occupation in Germany. And I was over there from 53 1951 until 53. I married a girl from Germany, but I didn't meet her when I was in the Army over there. I went back 9 years later to visit a family who took me in like one of theirs. They had cousins here in Morton, the Shook family, and I went back to visit them, and that's when I met my wife. And
Moved her back to Morton, or moved her to Morton?
yes, she moved to Morton. Never been to the USA before, and I told her this was God's country here.
Did she agree?
No, not the first summer anyway. First of all, she got pregnant right away.
Well, that wasn't.
And then she said I never told her about the high humidity and the mosquitoes that we have here in Illinois. So, but she really loved it here in Morton.
She came around.
Came around, yeah. She just passed away.
Yeah, I was drafted into the Navy in 1954 and became a Navy corpsman and served in Florida and got out 2 years later and went back into the military as a civilian to Vietnam in '68.
Tell me a little bit about your families. Are your families from Morton, or did they come from Germany or Alsace perhaps? Where does your family originate?
My family, German heritage, Alsace-Lorraine, and Swiss, those two probably, and the whole community here at one time was very German oriented, overloaded really, because there were a lot of German. And the church I went to even had German services in addition to English services. And most of us could trace ourselves back to that area at that time when it was a smaller village.
Do you know how, really quickly, how did your family find Morton from Germany?
Well, one side, my mother's side, they kind of worked themselves west, stopped in Ohio, and then came here, and some of them went to Kansas, kind of split up. On my dad's side, I think they just came pretty much directly here, and we're one of the founding families in town.
And did they come here because they knew other people here?
I would imagine that birds of a feather flock together, and they all went to the same church, that kind of thing.
Back here.
No, you sit there.
I'm going to pause it.